War II, President Franklin Delano Roosevelt created the Women's Army Corps, or WAC, on 1 July 1943. In 1978, President Jimmy Carter killed the WAC, and the Army's female soldiers were sent into the men's units. But when they were autonomous, the WAC developed their own physical readiness training, testing, and manuals designed by and for women and based upon highly developed and well-tested early European models brought to the United States by immigrants in the 1800s. Posture, good body mechanics, calisthenic, and a variety of other training methods, materials, and motivators, including precision marching, were taught. Take a look at their toes, straight forward and heads up. It all slowly began to unravel and fade away after the war ended in 1945, and the women's physical training, like the men's PT doctrine, slowly began to go adrift. By the mid-1970s, as the WAC neared extinction, a much softer generation emerged as American youth became increasingly less fit. While pressure to more fully integrate the genders was building in 1975 when the latest edition of FM 3520, the Women's PT Manual, was published. Some critics asserted that the Women's Airborne School Qualification physical fitness test was far too easy and lives were at stake. You be the judge. If you are an intelligent female of good morals and character, between the ages of 21 and 45, have no dependents, at least 5 feet tall, and weigh more than 100 pounds, then take the test and see if you could qualify for the United States Army Airborne School in 1975. Okay, let's look at the test. It is precisely called the Airborne Trainee Physical Fitness Qualification Test for women, and it has 5 events. This is a go, no-go test, so to qualify, you must achieve a minimum score in each event to pass the entire test. First of all, the Incline Chin Up, 7 repetitions, Modified Sit-Up, 20 repetitions, Modified Push-Up, 22 repetitions, Knee Bender, 50 repetitions within a 2-minute period, and a 1-mile run in 10 minutes or less in formation to cadence. So the first event is the Incline Chin Up. Now, the WAC used a specially built device, and if you're interested in building one, send an email to thomasschool@earthlink.net. I'll send you the blueprint as well as the other test details. This is only an overview. And there are also 2 other tests in this chapter, the basic and advanced fitness tests for the women. But in the meantime, you can use a squat rack and an Olympic bar. There's no time limit, and each repetition is 1 point. Keep your body straight throughout, and there's no rest in either the up or down position. The next test is the modified sit-up. You start with the knees bent at 45 degrees, around 12 inches from the body, and no one holds your feet on this one. You have to keep them on the ground. Your back should be rounded. Wrap your arms around your knees. On the command go, release the arms, roll back till your back touches the ground, and then roll your body back up to the starting position. No rest in between. All right, let's take a look at the modified push-up. Now here the hands and the knees and the feet are on the ground. Make sure your arms are shoulder distance and perpendicular to the ground, front and side. Stretch your fingers, middle finger pointing forward. Keep your body straight. On the command go, come down, touch the ground with your chin, and return to the starting position. No rest, and don't move your hands, your knees, or your feet during the test. Now here's a quick note about the push-up in the WAC doctrine. During World War II, the WAC began by using a standard push-up, hands and feet only in contact with the ground. But they found that in most cases, the women's arms would move outward into an awkward, mechanically compromised position. So they moved to the knee push-up and found that over time, it allowed the women to practice properly, and they were later able to do the standard push-up. Now, this is a modern example, but you can see the elbows point to the rear. The forearm is perpendicular to the ground. Now, in this case, this woman is not touching her chin. In the Army standard, she would have. But it gives you an idea of why they used the knee push-up for the 1975 doctrine. The next event is the knee bender. Your feet should be less than shoulder distance apart, toes pointing forward, hands on the hips, elbows back. Do a half knee bend, lean forward slightly, touch outside the calf. You notice the heels go off the ground, and then recover to the starting position. And there's no rest here. You keep going until you can no longer do them properly. And last is the 1 mile run. Now, since this was a military test given as a unit, it was done through often a company-sized formation, and the run was in a cadence, short women in front, 40-inch stride, to a cadence designed to take less than 10 minutes for 1 mile, and the emphasis was on proper running gait. Now, here are a few final comments. There's a 5-minute rest between each event. Once again, hold the standard. More than one grader is best. And this test is for fit women only. Video your practice and your testing to see how well you're performing each event. Post your scores and training tips below to motivate others. And finally, for a complete PDF of this and the other 1975 WAC PT tests, email thomasschool@earthlink.net. You've got it out here.